What's up, Dance Team World? It's me, Activate, and I'm coming to you live from Minneapolis, Minnesota for the Minnesota State Dance Tournament. This event is crazy. You do not want to look away. Here's everything you've ever wanted to know about Dance Team in Minnesota.
Is it true that dance teams in Minnesota can only compete in 2 different styles? And is it true that Minnesota high school dance teams are not allowed to leave the state to compete at any of the national competitions that exist across the country? Surprisingly, it's all true. But here it is, folks, the state that does dance team as a sport and does it the best that I've ever witnessed in my entire career as a director, coach, judge, and choreographer. While dance team competitions first started in California in the 1960s, it's actually Minnesota that is now widely known as the dance state. In this state, dance team used to be considered a performing art but finally became recognized as a sport under the Minnesota State High School League many years ago. But even before that happened, the Minnesota Association of Dance Teams and Judges Association of Minnesota had already gotten organized. Their system became so huge that the MSHSL had no choice but to take them under their wing, and since then, the stakeholders in Minnesota have been fine-tuning and adjusting their structure to achieve what it is today, a practically perfect system that offers the most fair dance competition framework out there, and that includes dance studio competitions too. The state competition lasts 2 days, 1 day for high kick and 1 day for jazz. But in order to make it to the state tournament at the Honda Center in Minneapolis, your team has to place top 3 in section competitions, which are held in the lead up to the state tournament. Let me back up real quick. Like other school sports in Minnesota, dance team is divided into different athletic seasons like fall, winter, and spring, allowing for students to participate in other sports aside from dance team. Competitions are called meets, like a swim meet or track meet, and teams only compete in the high kick or jazz genres. Yes, those are the only 2 options at the high school level in Minnesota. But because of this, all programs find ways to include other dance styles like lyrical, contemporary, and hip-hop into their routines. Minnesota dance teams are divided by school population into 3 classes, A, AA, and AAA, and each class is divided into 4 sections, essentially geographic areas of the state. At the section meet, the top 3 winning teams from each of the 4 sections advance to the state tournament in Minneapolis, which equals 12 total teams per division. At the state competition, the energy at the Target Center is infectious. Each tournament day is essentially divided into 3 sessions, 1 for each class. This means that unlike other competitions in states like California, for example, spectators don't need to be there all day long, which makes it a huge travel opportunity for all the schools and dance parents that get to attend the tournament. Spectators dress in wild costumes in their school or routine colors. I even saw some spectators walking around with French berets and baguette bread, as well as a bunch of dance dads dressed like Freddie Mercury from the band Queen. It was hilarious. Teams are assigned seating blocks throughout the arena, and tickets are shared with spectators at the discretion of the head coach or director. As the day progresses, each team block rotates, whether it's prelims or finals. I'll get into that in a second. Anyway, teams take the floor one at a time in a back-to-back format with plenty of downtime between acts. Teams are scored by a panel of 8 judges. Yes, I said 8. I will go into detail on this incredible scoring system in a future post, but essentially the judges' scores are converted to rank points. After all 12 competing teams are done, there's a break, at which time performers make their way to the arena hallways to meet their family, and alumni spectators take pictures, buy merch, apparel, and maybe grab a snack from one of the many food vendors. After the break, it's time for the announcement of the 6 teams with the lowest rank scores that will advance to finals. The process repeats, and the final 6 teams are then whittled down to a top 3. During this awards ceremony, the names of students from the top 3 teams are read aloud as each dancer receives a medal, and each team in the top 3, of course, wins a really nice wooden trophy to take back to their school. I was not able to get backstage access for this event as professional cameras of any kind were not allowed, so apologies to those of you who wanted to see some more behind-the-scenes action. Trust me, I tried, but they shut me down. I'd like to thank my friend Jenny Raiche, former head coach of the Eastview Lightning dance team and current director of the Miss Dance Team Minnesota competition, for hooking me up with tickets in the Eastview High School spectator block. I'd also like to thank the many retired dance judges from Minnesota who took me under their wing and allowed me to sit with them while educating me all about their system and the Minnesota way of doing things. All high school dance programs are given the opportunity to shine. They've developed a structure that emphasizes camaraderie between teams. It had just snowed the day before I arrived in Minneapolis, and I was freezing the whole time, but this event is the example for what dance team can look like as an official sport, and the talent was through the roof. It was so amazing, I just might have to go back again next year. Thanks, Minnesota.